And before we proceed further, just a few guidelines regarding the webinar. All of the attendees are in the muted state right now just to avoid any background noise. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, you have a chat window towards your right-hand side of the screen, and please make use of it and just pop in your questions. I'll try my best to answer all of your questions at the end, once in the Q&A part. Okay. And all of the attendees, could you just do me a favor? Could you just click on the hand icon on the left-hand side of your screen? Just to I just want to make sure all of you can hear me properly. Okay. Okay, there are lots of hands coming up there. Looks good. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I think it's a good time to go ahead and start the session now. So quickly introducing myself, my name is Rahul Shinde, and I work as a solution architect for Veeam Softwares. And today's webinar is very much focused on Veeam Management Pack, which is kind of a reporting tool for VMware. Now, just before we move ahead about with the webinar, just a quick information about what is this webinar all about. This is kind of a mix of a slide, and we're going to talk a little in details about what you're going to get in the latest new upcoming version of Management Pack version 6.5. And obviously at the end there's a Q&A session, so we'll be spending some few minutes for the question and answers. If you have any questions, do pop in your questions at the end. And for those who cannot attend this session, these webinars are also recorded, so they can just go to veeam.com/videos and take a look at it as well. Okay, so to start with, what you get with Veeam Management Pack is a single pane of glass. So what it means is Veeam Management Pack is a Microsoft System Center Management Pack, especially designed for the one who has System Center Operation Manager and VMware running in their environment. It basically gives you a deep VMware monitoring, forecasting, and planning, especially for the virtual environment. And it leverages your investments in System Center and provides you with a unified view of both your physical as well as virtual infrastructure, and that too in a single console. Now this allows you to solve your problems fast with having Veeam Management Pack and System Center. You definitely get a complete visibility which you need from the application to the bare metal. So the app to metal challenge, it's Let's have a quick look on how app-to-metal monitoring looks in the physical world. So in this screenshot, as you can see, the Exchange server running on a physical computer. On the physical computer, an Operation Manager agent is deployed that will basically monitor the Exchange applications, the OS, and the physical hardware. So now if something goes wrong, then you can pretty much pinpoint to the exact problem and on what or which particular layer the particular problem is caused. So that's the app to metal challenge, and that's how the MP can help you to fix a problem or pinpoint the exact issues. App to metal solution is what you can say is like in a virtual world, things are a little bit different. So besides the physical hardware, where your virtual machines are still running on a physical box, the OS and the applications, you need to take a virtualization layer into account. So basically in this case, the Operations Manager agent can't be deployed on the ESX server. So we are pretty much blind at that particular level. But having with Veeam MP, the virtualization layer is automatically integrated into the picture. Here you can see the physical ESXi host, the hardware, the networking and storage components, the virtual machine, and then you can drill down into the same Ops Manager agent inside the virtual machine and into the Exchange application as well. Now, the Ops Manager agent inside a virtual machine is not a requirement for Veeam MP, that's a management pack. However, it can monitor any virtual machines, whether it could be Windows, it could be Linux, or just kind of any kind of a appliance as well. But if you do have an Ops Manager agent inside a virtualized OS monitoring the application layer, then it gives you the true app to virtual to metal visibility, which is critical when troubleshooting your application performance and availability, and also trying to find out the root cause of the issues in our virtual infrastructure. Okay, so moving forward, it also gives you deep monitoring and reporting. So now it's like from many hundreds of available performance metrics and events that indicates the health of your vSphere environment. Veeam Management Pack has out-of-the-box intelligence and the best practice thresholds to present an accurate picture to the IT operations team. The rich data gathered agentlessly from the vCenter API is first analyzed, filtered, and presented to the monitoring team with many sophisticated alert monitors, event rules, dashboards, will drill down and advanced reports, including right sizing, optimizing, capacity planning, and more. So here are a few global customers who have been using Veeam Management Pack since a long time, and this is what they have to say about Veeam Management Pack. Vestas is another company, and there's another one, just to give you an example, it's an Infront Consulting Group. So these are like few global customers who have been using Veeam Management Pack and pretty happy with it. Okay, so moving ahead, let's take a look at the IT challenges. Okay, the three IT challenges we have bifurcated into different groups like professional, operations, virtualization, professionals, and IT management. So let's take a look at the first part, the operations professionals, the technical end user thing, where it says no VMware visibility, missed SLAs, capacity issues, data center inefficiencies. So before we start diving into the different features of Management Pack, it is important to know what kind of scenarios and challenges can be solved just by extending your System Center Operation Manager with Veeam Management Pack. So whether you have a large infrastructure team or just a small bunch of people, in the end you will have some divisions, and in those teams and some key owners of different parts of the infrastructure. The first thing we want to look at is the operations professional. Now these people are normally in charge of monitoring or watching the infrastructure or taking care of your infrastructure. So in most cases these professionals don't have visibility into the VMware environment, as this is typically organized and maintained by another team. Which means that if something goes wrong, they never know for what sure isn't the VMware environment responsible for this. Now this results in call at let's say at 2 a.m. in the morning, and the VMware team to check on things that might be wrong. So most of the time, just a second guys. Okay, I'm sorry. So most of the time, we usually see that the operations manager in charge of doing the capacity planning in their environment, but without having the proper number about the underlying technologies. Also, the operation managers typically targets are about SLAs, or what you call as service level agreements. So this is how they get their bonus, I would say. But many of those SLAs are about resolving issues within specific time frames. So without having complete visibility into the infrastructure stack, this is going to be very difficult to go and achieve it. Well, today's operation teams are also standing up for other challenges. Everybody needs to overcome the data center inefficiencies and also leverage all the investment that have been made to it. Investments made in the system, Microsoft System Center, investment made in trainings, resources, and much more needs to improve over the next couple of years. So with our Management Pack, we enhance those investments, which gives you a single pane of glass to manage your physical as well as virtual and applications in one single console, which will basically lower your administrative overhead and allow you to reallocate resources to the right spot. Now the second group is the virtualization professionals. So in many cases, but not exactly in all of them, but that are not that interested in the Management Pack for the solutions. They prefer to have a point-in-time solution, typically vCenter, to do their kind of a day-to-day activities. The tool set that they prefer to use is one that they own or they can have customized it, and that is all about VMware. Our management pack also allows this team not to look at the console 24/7 by showing the health of the operations professional, which you can trust that you will be notified and escalated at the right time with the right information. Our management pack does this automatically, even if you, or even more, because we are the VMware experts. We also provide you with the best business intelligence so that you can do what you need to do instead of creating reports and just analyzing your data. Now, with a few clicks of you have them right at your disposals, and you can generate them whenever you need or for a large amount of time. We deliver you the out-of-box reports with having a proper forecast about what would happen based on the historical data, which will allow you to proactively order more equipments and have the numbers to prove to your peers that this is absolutely necessary. Last but not the least, the management pack will stop the finger pointing between the teams. Now that's because the visibility from the app to bare metal, you know from where the issue is and resolve it as soon as possible before any SLA is broken. Now the third team, ideally what you have is the IT management or the strategic team. With a management pack, they can leverage the investments made in their system center investment. So many organizations spend a lot of efforts, time and money setting up their solutions to proactively monitor their environment. Now, adding VMware visibility on top of that solution, they gain certain additional benefits from that investments. Now, because of this, they can use the same monitoring process that are already in place for the applications and services. Now, they can be sure that different teams can work together to meet the SLAs. Having correct data and business intelligence from management pack so that the management knows upfront that new resources are necessary without the need of having any kind of a rush before it's getting too late. So that are the three IT challenges and the three different categories based on which we have bifurcated the different challenges which we face in IT. Okay, let's take a look at challenge number one. Let's see VMware visibility, which extends System Center with deep monitoring VMware view. So many customers say that it's extremely difficult to get the entire infrastructure visibility, and in many cases, the tool set that they have does not allow you or the operations team and other team needed to get access to the systems where they should not have access to. But with compute view technology, this is ideally this view brings up the data center, the cluster, and many more components inside that data center, and it shows you how different hosts are combined into one single cluster and what the different hardware status is on that particular cluster. It also shows you the time that the virtual machines are running on what host and what the status is of that particular virtual machine. Apart from that, it's also show you in a second or like dynamically updated, so you don't have to do anything to view the current situations of your data center. So if your machine or if your virtual machine have an operations manager and agent installed inside it, then you can actually drill down further or virtual machines and see the health and details of that particular service, applications, and much more. Of course, it is not required to have an agent installed in these virtual machines, but most of the time they do have, and that gives you an additional visibility. Okay, so that was compute view technology. Let's moving further. You also have storage topology view. Now, this is a key customer request. Now, this topology gives you a full overview of different data stores and to which cluster data center they are attached. Now, for every data store, you can see which virtual machine is running on and what resources are on that particular data store. On top of that, the management pack can give you a huge amount of information as to information about the data store, such as parameters and configurations. Also, a tremendous amount of performance information and possibilities such as I/O latency, data stores getting full, and much more. Now, storage outages is also another big issue in virtual environment. So you should be able to quickly view very quickly where the exact problem is, which virtual machines or resources has been affected, and probably just proactively solving problems before they come and become an outage. And yes, full app to middle is supported here as well. So this is about the storage topology view. The next thing comes as the network topology view. Basically, this topology maps shows you the software-defined network components, allowing you to view per switch packet analysis. Veeam Management Pack basically fully integrates vSphere distributed virtual switches, including Cisco Nexus 1000V, which is presented as a DVS in the vCenter. Okay, next thing comes is the storage heat maps. These heat maps are you can say, an innovative in the system center. Now, heat maps are basically a graphical way of getting at a glance of what exactly is going on. So if you look at a box at the left with the colored bars, then you can see the heat maps on one particular data store. The white space shows you how much free space is left on a data store. Inside the box, you can see the different rectangles, and they each represent a virtual machine. Now, this chart basically shows you which bar is attached to which virtual machine. Finally, the color which tells you at a glance of what the growth of is that for a given virtual machine. And the last part is exactly one of the most interesting feature of such a heat map. So at a glance, what you see, or what you can see, what object is impacting this data store, and what it will do in the future to your data store. So just like forecasting. So each of these objects are clickable, so you can drill down into a suspicious object like read one and review the history of it, see performance, and so on. A kind of a helpful feature for your environment. Missed SLA, another the biggest challenge is like your operations manager is missing the SLAs. Like already said, this is what makes these guys stay. And but missing SLAs is not only bad for the operations manager. Companies can lose business because of this, or the end users might not be able to perform their work that they need to do. But having Management Pack will basically help you drill down into the alerts, finding a quicker root cause, and again helping you with the knowledge base and several visual presentations of the issues. So let's take what you get in under missed SLAs. You have real-time analytic monitors. The real-time analytic monitors will give you all the information that you need. Now we can take this existing thresholds of the performance counter and bring in the related data to your environment. We can give you the top 5 virtual machines running in the host and perform different analytics in the real time on that particular data and bring that information to the alert. In this specific example, as you can see, an alert about a data store that has reached this free space threshold. But we go further by telling you all the virtual machines that are present on that data store and what the top virtual machines are taking away space from that particular data store. So with this kind of an intelligence, you will have a much quicker reaction to the problem and a quicker resolution to the problem. The operations team just now simply passes this intelligent information to VMware team, and they can probably make certain modifications as fast as they can without the need. So they start do another research for the problem. Another thing that you get is the top 10 dashboards. Now, Operations Manager 2012 brings you new capabilities. One of those capabilities is the dashboards, the best one I would say. Now, over 30 powerful new in-context dashboards are available for all the vSphere aspects. Now, these dashboards basically provides you at a glance view over-the-top performance consumers. Um, we still support Operation Manager 2007 R2, and all of the previous features that we showed you will still work on Operations Manager 2007 R2. But as said, these helpful dashboards are using a new piece of the framework that only exists in Operations Manager 2012. So we have those for storage, virtual machines, hosts, and so on. So look at the dashboards given on the slide. So you can see at a glance top free space, top use space, top IOPS, and top maximum latency. All of these dashboards also allows you to drill deeper into another dashboards. So this is about the quick dashboards, and so moving further, you also get analysis dashboards. Let's say now you also get these kind of dashboards which provides you with a deeper analysis and much more information. Not only you can get into these dashboards by using the top 10 dashboards or just by using the navigation, you also get to these dashboards straight away from an alert when the context is right. So let's say we have an alert based on read and write latency, then you will be able to quickly jump to a correct correct dashboard without needing to find that dashboard in the navigation. Now this idea is just that these dashboards allow you to drill down into more deeper, detailed dashboards, and they stay within the context. So that should give you a quicker access to the data that you need to solve a problem and also to find a root cause much quicker. Okay, here comes another big challenge, capacity planning. Now, let's continue with our challenges and talk more about capacity planning. So like in previous versions, we did a great job in like alerting, monitoring, historical reporting, and much more. But with capacity planning, we take it into a whole new level now. As I already mentioned, for many companies, this is not an existing, or for other, it takes a huge amount of efforts and time to get that data together and then do the analysis of your data. So the next parts that will show you that we have built in that information and intelligence inside the product, and you can now use it whenever you want, whenever you need it. So for capacity planning, you have capacity planning reports, which basically take a historical data for performance such as your memory, CPU, storage use, and many more. And we use this information to create a trend line and predict the future. Now that trend line shows us an estimated time left before you actually run out of specific resources. Now this knowledge is critical in order to get new resources in time. Prove to the decision takers that it is absolutely necessary, and make sure that your systems keeps on running without running out of necessary resources. So the first forecast shows you a trend line on the right latency on a specific data store. Now, based on the 80 milliseconds threshold, you can see how the trend line is moving and how long it is possible will take to reach that threshold. I'm sorry. Another thing which you get is based on collection or based on collected information, we can start predicting what will happen when there are hosts failing in the clusters. So you can have a great infrastructure, and all of the modeling can tell you that you won't hit the capacity threshold soon. But what about your capacity when something goes wrong with one or more hosts? This reports will basically show you if the remaining host will have enough resources to do this, and how long will it be able to run it in a degraded mode without running out of such resources. Now this tool comes at a great help to start predicting possible outages and to add that information as well as necessary responses to your business continuity plan. Okay, so challenge number 4 is inefficiencies which optimizing your resources in your data center. Optimizing your resources in the data center can bring back a lot of resources at a table and save on different and multiple costs. Like already said, everything has to do more with less. Everyone has to optimize. Everyone has to run lean and mean. So the biggest problem here is that most of us get the request to do that, but but not many can actually prove that they can optimize or even prove that they really are running very efficiently. Of course, you spend a lot of days gathering information, dumping into it, spreadsheets, and by the time you have analyzed it, it will be too old. So now having Veeam Management Pack will help you with all this and give you the figures which you need with a couple of clicks. The amount of information you will get will be so thorough that you will be able to pinpoint the over consumers, under consumers, and with all the facts. No more deployment machines, no more development machines that basically really needs like 8 gigs of RAM. These reports are all beneficial to your management. So let's take a look what we can give you out of it. So first thing is locating your zombie virtual machines. So zombie is like there are a few virtual machines which are sitting idle, which is like powered off, which has never been used. So we call it as a zombie virtual machine. So we can easily locate such zombie virtual machines. With these reports, we are going to search for idle and unused virtual machines that are idly wasting your resources. So if a machine is powered off for 6 months, then it's probably time to archive or even decommission that machine and recover all the resources out of it. So zombie virtual machines are those which are still powered on, they're using minimum resources, or they are harder to find, but with having Veeam Management Pack reports, this becomes a lot easier. Now these machines could be the candidates for decommissioning and should be investigated whether they are still being used. So this will not only save your valuable resources but also brings less maintenance work right on the table. Having right size and optimizing is like Veeam MP or Management Pack offers undersized and oversized data for your virtual machines. Pretty easy to use and efficiently, like having weekly, monthly reviews to see what virtual machines are running effectively so that you can resize these virtual machines and save something on your resources as well. Okay, so let's take a look what exactly or what's new in version 6.5 for Veeam Management Pack. Now, you get enhanced fault tolerance VMware monitoring that even tolerates vCenter failure. So that's really a bigger innovation, I would say. The collection architecture in version 6.0 or the previous version was like the Veeam Management Pack would sit in between my vSphere and Microsoft System Center. I got my vCenter server, and there's a collection or the collector service running on the Veeam Management Pack server, which basically collects the information from our vSphere and give it back to the System Center. So that's ideally how the architecture works in the previous version 6.0. But in version 6.5, we have also introduced an option like vCenter failure. So by default, we will monitor through vCenter. But what if happens when if your vCenter goes down? So this is your single pane or single point of failure and causes your monitoring not to function anymore, even when everything is still up and running. But in version 6.5, we have taken care of this problem. So automatic retargeting of collection data ensures continuously delivery of monitoring data. Even if vCenter goes down, it will not have an impact on monitoring. Now, if the vCenter would fail down, Veeam Management Pack will automatically fail over and reconfigure so that the data will be collected directly from the vSphere host, and the failback is automatic. When vCenter is restored, Veeam Management Pack returns to the default data collection method without any kind of interruption. So even if your vCenter fails down, nothing to worry. Veeam's Management Pack still continues to run, still continues to monitor your data. So that's the best news. Okay, monitoring for Veeam backups. So advanced System Center integration for Veeam Backup and Replication. If you're already using Veeam Backup and Replication, Veeam Management Pack would also monitor all infrastructure that has been created by Veeam Backup and Replication, including your proxy servers, your repository, WAN accelerators, your backup jobs, running on the backup servers, replication, and much more. So let's say, for example, you can see alerts from different components of this view, like backup repository job or backup WAN accelerator and things like that. So this is a quick view wherein you can monitor your Veeam Backup and Replication, which monitors all backup infrastructure used by Veeam Backup Replication, monitors your core services, repository, free space, backup job status, and duration. Protected virtual machines backup report. Now, the protected and unprotected virtual machines report show you which VMs have valid recovery points for a specified amount of time. It also includes information on the completion status of recent jobs, or rather backup jobs and replication jobs, with the number of restore points available from each listed virtual machine, which basically helps you identify the virtual machines that lack proper backup protection, either because of failed or outdated backup or any kind of other configuration errors. Capacity planning for backups. So now if you know how good our capacity planning report is for VMware, then you will be kind of pleased to see that we have this report for your backup solution also. Now, capacity planning for backup repository analyzes the amount of free space present on your backup repository and also helps predicting when the repository will probably run out of your available storage capacity. The report recommends how to adjust the allocated storage resources to meet your future demands for backup storage, ensuring that there is sufficient space for your backup data at any point in time. So this is like another good news for capacity planning. If you're using Veeam Backup Replication as well, it can give you a complete kind of a capacity planning tool for Veeam Backup Replication as well. vSphere configuration tracking and correlating vSphere changes into events to pinpoint to the root cause. So configuration tracking and alert correlation reports shows you what has changed in your vSphere environment. So let's say if there's any issue with resources or capacity, you'll be able to see a correlation of events to help pinpoint the cause. Now basically these reports provide you detailed tracking of configuration properties for all your vSphere objects, including your clusters, network, data store, switch, host, and virtual machines, everything. Okay, so I would recommend all of the attendees to probably go ahead and download the free 30 days trial. Here's the link on the screen where you can download the trial version. And these are the features which it's a full-fledged trial version, so like you get standard Veeam backup monitoring, advanced Veeam backup reporting, capacity planning, VMware reporting, and VMware reporting as well as capacity planning during your trial period. Now, before, or rather I would say, if you download a 30 days trial, you will get all the functionality that you've been looking at the screen today, all for free. But even after 30 days, you still will get a standard Veeam backup monitoring feature for free. Yes, that's right. You heard it correct. You still get the backup monitoring functionality for free even after the trial version expires. And you can continue to monitor backups without any kind of limitations on it. So just go ahead and download the trial version and try to utilize and make use of it and see how the best it performs in your infrastructure. And there's a quick platform support. It supports Microsoft platform like System Center 2012 R2 Operations Manager, 2007 R2 Operations Manager, Windows Server 2012 R2, which has been added newly, and 2008 servers. For VMware platforms, you can have vCenter Server 4.x till version 5.5, ESX 4.x, and version 5.5 would be supported as well. So that's the best news. Okay, so that's all from the presentation side, guys. If you have any questions, we're going to spend some next few minutes for the Q&A. So if you have any questions, just feel free to just pop in your questions in the chat window, and I'll try my best to answer all of your queries. If you don't have any questions right now, you can definitely reach out to me anytime. This is my email address on the screen. So do drop me a mail anytime. I'd be glad to assist you further. Apart from that, you also have Veeam blogs and Veeam forums where you can get some valuable information regarding all Veeam products, right from backup replication to management suite, management pack, everything. So do visit to www.veeam.com/blog and veeam.com/forums. Okay, then I'll keep some silence and probably wait for a few questions if there's anything coming up here. So if you have any questions, please. So guys, if you have any questions, this is the time when you can just come up with your questions, and if you don't have any questions, you can reach out to me anytime on my email address as well. I'm just going to keep quiet for some time, so waiting for the questions. Okay, I don't see any questions coming up yet, so. Guys, if you have any questions, I'd really like to answer your questions, so please don't hesitate and just come up with your questions if you have anything that you would like to know about.